Thank you, Mr. Malhotra. That was very nice. Ladies and gentlemen, I now request Mr. Rakesh Kumar, President IEIA, to kindly give the introduction about IEIA and also tell us something about the vision statement.
Thank you very much. Honorable Mr. Muhammad Mahmood Ali Sahab, Deputy Chief Minister of Telangana State and Chief Guest of our 4th IEIA Open Seminar. Mr. David Dubai, President and CEO, International Association for Exhibitions and Events, USA. Mr. Nagendra Prasad, Vice President, IEIA. Mr. Rajiv Malhotra, General Secretary, IEIA. Mr. Ravinder Sethi, Executive Member. Our honored guests, my colleagues in the Executive Committee of IEIA, delegates of the seminar, participants, dignitaries from exhibition and related sector, friends from media and press, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 4th edition of IEIA Open Seminar, the annual meeting of exhibition industry professionals in India. We are here in the beautiful and historic city of Hyderabad to deliberate upon finding ways for sustainable growth in trade fair business through quality enhancement. Coming to Hyderabad, sir, is in line with IIA's recognition of the national character of the trade fair business in India and the importance of the city of Hyderabad enjoys as one of the main trade fair centers of the country. Honorable Sir, please allow me a few minutes to dwell upon the role and importance of the trade fair and exhibition in the development of the economy and business. Trade fair and exhibitions world over have come to be known as most effective medium for developing business, trade technology, joint ventures, collaborations, marketing tie-ups, etc. In fact, trade fairs and exhibitions are an essential ingredient in the marketing mix of any company. Face-to-face communication between buyers and sellers at fairs cannot be replaced by any digital communication, sir. Specialized shows attract specialized buyers, resulting in direct contacts, test marketing opportunities, knowing the reactions of the visitors, assessing marketing trends, technological developments, and level of competition in the industry. So, friends, trade fairs have tremendous revenue generation potential for the host city's economy. Besides revenue generated from rentals and participants' fee, exhibitors and visitors spend large amounts of money on accommodation, restaurants, hotel, transportation, entertainment, and other indirect services and retailing of products. The exhibition, therefore, is to be considered as a multiplier of economy and business growth. Globally, it is understood that the collateral business generated as a result of an exhibition is 15 times more than the revenue generated through rentals and participation fee in trade fairs. This is in the case of B2B exhibitions. However, in case of B2C exhibitions, it is estimated that the business generation is 50 times more than the generation of revenue of rentals of the participants' fee. One of the greatest effects of the exhibition in a city is big business for hotel, restaurants, shopping, tourism, and travel, etc., which changes the face of the entire city. And all this is in addition to creation of a job for a particular exhibition in terms of stand construction, business publicity, decorative materials, logistics support, cargo clearance, etc. Therefore, the role of the service providers can also not be undermined. Clearly, the city of Hyderabad and the local government machinery has been among the first in India to recognize the importance of trade fairs in economic development of the entire state. In fact, the development of the HITEX as modern exhibition venue way back in 2003 as an exemplary development, and we hope and wish that many more states adopt this model for developing suitable trade fairs infrastructure in their major cities. Most of you attended the last seminar held in Delhi. Based upon the outcome of the last seminar, the mandate was quite clear. The industry gave very clear signals of what is required to ensure sustainable growth of exhibition sector in India. In line with the recommendations, a white paper was formulated for presentation to relevant government authorities. I am very happy to note today in the discussion, a very brief discussion with you, Honorable Sir, that you have now going to have a system in the state of a single window clearance system. We are really extremely happy, and in fact, in our recommendation today, we are going to make the same recommendation to the states. We are extremely thankful to you for this thought-provoking process. The paper also serves as a sort of an action plan for the association. The main points covered are as follows. One message that came out of various deliberations during the last seminar which was held at Delhi, that lack of quality infrastructure is proving to be a huge bottleneck, preventing growth of the sector in India. It must be mentioned that the government also recognizes this need and has taken a number of steps in this direction aimed at developing more trade fair centers. At least 3 projects are in the pipeline in the national capital region of Delhi alone. It has also been recognized that beside upgradation and development of infrastructure in Tier 1 cities, the need of the hour is to develop it in the Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities as well. Ahmedabad has started developing a goods center. Dharamshala in Himachal Pradesh is preparing a SPV for Trade Conference Center, and RICO has developed a project at Jaipur. In fact, sir, all these 3 ministers of these states were present in our last seminar, and they made commitment, and the developments have already started taking place in all the 3 places. While there is no doubt about the need to develop purpose-built infrastructure, care must be taken to ensure that the same is developed in line with clearly identified needs of the regions to be served. Region with potential of organizers, trade fair must be identified and investments to be made in line with their requirements. The government's role in this regard is crucial. Ideally, a public-private partnership, PPP model, should be the route whereby the infrastructure is developed and owned by the government agencies and managed by professionals with necessary experience. We have seen successful model in Germany where messes are developed with private players and local city government over there. It was felt that there is a definite merit in obtaining industry status for trade fair activity, since it will ensure easy availability of funding from financial institutions at preferential rates. During the, again, brief discussion, sir, you also mentioned about the process of giving some loan for the industry and also opening door for industry. We shall be grateful. We will be submitting you later on a complete paper through HITEX that our sector in the state should be declared as a complete industry. So it should be given a status of industry so that we are eligible for having a kind of an industrial plot in your industrial estate, and also we are eligible for all the banking loans over there in the state. Furthermore, acknowledgement of the trade fair organization as such an important activity for growth of regional and national economy by the government will result in extensive and priority support of concerned authorities and administrative departments within their field of operation. Follow up with the government to ensure single window clearance and streamlining of taxes across all states is also very important. It is advised that IIA proposes a uniform system and to start with and initiates a dialogue with administration of key regions of NCR, Mumbai, Bengaluru, and Hyderabad and persuade them to adopt the same. Implementation of the health and safety standards was considered and is very important exercise with wide-ranging benefits, social and legal responsibility towards all stakeholders and third parties image building, enhancing quality of the product and further growth of trade fair business. For the trade fair activity to grow substantially, it is very important that it has quality manpower available to manage its operations. For this purpose, it was felt important to develop training courses in collaboration with universities, management schools, and international agencies working in this field. IEIA may also hold seminars, workshops in different cities across India. To motivate major industries to consider trade fairs as the most efficient marketing and promotion tool, it was felt that the exhibitor's ability to extract the most out of participation in trade shows will result in more value for money he invests in trade fairs, and therefore strengthening his belief in this marketing and promotional tool. The industry should therefore promote trade fairs as the ideal tool among various industries through various means. IIA's role, a clear outcome of the IIA Open Seminar 13, has been the unanimous opinion, suggestion of the industry and experts that IEIA has a very crucial role to play if trade fair sector has to attain respectable size growth. IIA must ensure that an atmosphere favorably for the trade fair sector's growth is created in the country. Already the role played by the association this year was lauded by the participants and members. It was felt that the IEIA should now take more responsibility. It should develop a plan and undertake activities acting as enabler and facilitate removal of various bottlenecks hampering industry's growth and help it achieve tangible results across all the 7 areas indicated above. I am pleased to inform that your association activities is in line with the industry recommendations. During the last 1.5 years, IEIA has taken up many initiatives as spelled out in the white paper. Noticeable among those are matters related to skill development and training, development of standards and codes for organization of exhibition and provision of services required for organization, streamlining of taxes by being the voice of the Indian exhibition industry, both nationally and internationally. On the issue of the skill development and training, we made a successful beginning with a 2-day training seminar in New Delhi and Mumbai. Over 90 participants from the industry attended the program in 2 cities, which clearly indicates towards the interest and scope for more such programs, perhaps to cover various aspects of trade fair organization and management in detail. On development of standard and codes and rating system, a 6-member committee representing drawn from organizers, venue providers, and service provider members of the association worked for over 1.5 years and has come out with first set of guidelines covering service providers. The guidelines were published on IEIA's website for a period of over 60 days to collect recommendations and suggestions from the stakeholders. An important session has been planned during the seminar tomorrow to further dwell upon the same and recommend it for the implementation. In order to streamline the procedural formalities, meeting was held with the Additional Chief Secretary Maharashtra. In order to ensure level playing field in the industry for all organizers, your association also took up an important matter of importance to trade fair organizer and filed a case in Competition Commission of India related to exhibitions being held at Pragati Maidan, Delhi, according to alleged arbitrary conditions imposed by ITPO in contravention of clear guidelines of Ministry of Commerce. Following the case of Competition Commission of India, CCI has imposed a penalty of rupees 6.75 crore on the ITPO. In a 3rd April order, the antitrust body held ITPO guilty of contravening Section 4 of the Competition Act, which deals with the abuse of dominant position. Taking example of a couple of shows, your association took the stand that in 2006 and then in 2007, ITPO had imposed certain stipulations related to time gap restriction on it between 2 successive exhibitions having similar product profiles coverage. The association alleged that these restrictions and the amendments were arbitrary and that ITPO adversely affected the established exhibitions of other players in the market by scheduling its own unrecognized exhibitions and refusing the permission to other players on the pretext of arbitrary time gap restrictions. I am glad to inform all of you that ITPO is now having a quite business-like approach, issued new and amended guidelines under the chairmanship of their present and dynamic chairperson, Mrs. Rita Menon, who closely interact with the industry on the issues of concern. I am sure the situation of such a confrontation in future can be avoided through dialogues. On international front too, your association has been very active. We have established a well-structured communication channel with UFI in collaboration on various issues and have actively collaborated with them even in the process of formulating guidelines and IEIA's Code of Ethics. The presence of Mr. David Dubois, President and CEO, marks beginning of a new chapter of cooperation with International Association of Exhibition and Events, USA, and we hope to be able to develop new program strategy, especially in the field of training and skill development. We have formed a working group to discuss and finalize a complete program on training this year. The association has also decided to enter in cooperation agreement with IAEE, CISO during the course of this seminar, thereby further strengthening its partnership with other foreign associations in order to provide extended benefits to its members, provisions of the useful information and inputs on trade information, trends and norms prevailing in those countries, creation of jointly sponsored activities and events that will encourage interaction between the members of each organization. I am certain that deliberations over the next 2 days will also be helpful in putting more light on various issues and provide further guidelines to the association to ensure that voice of its members is heard and procedures are laid to make exhibition organization business more profitable. A significant comforting factor is that exhibition fraternity in many developed markets consider India as a potential growth market. For this reason, a number of foreign companies present in India from Europe have started opening their establishment here. Southeast Asian countries have also established their setup in India, and a lot of new exhibitions on new subjects are now being held. Through above steps and strategy, we hope to facilitate our industry to achieve size of rupees 5,000 crore by the year 2020 from the present level of approximately 2,000 to 2,200 crore as direct business and cross 1 lakh crore as its multiplier. Sir, with these words, I thank all of you for attending this fourth IEIA Open Seminar at High Tech City, Hyderabad. I once again thank Honorable Deputy Chief Minister of Government of Telangana for sharing his invaluable time, for sparing his invaluable time in spite of his busy schedule. We hope under your dynamic leadership, guidance and patronage, sir, this industry will bring laurels. Thank to you all on the dais, off the dais and press and media. Thank you very much again.